Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video, guys. And today's Left 4 Dead 2 video, we're going to be ranking all the mods that are in Left 4 Dead. Well, technically not, but I'll get into that in a second. So, let's talk about this video and how we're going to be going about it. So, in this video, guys, like I said, we're going to be ranking Left 4 Dead mods, but we're not ranking every single mod in existence. This is going to be similar to the rules that we did when we ranked custom maps. There is so many mods and so many custom maps in Left 4 Dead that to go over every single one would mean that we would have to end up updating the list every single day because there's being mods being made every single day. So I am only going to be counting the mods that I personally own and mods that I also have personally used, because I also do have some mods that I've just yet to use, and I'm not going to be ranking something that I've yet to even try. In addition to that, I also want to let you guys know that some of these mods are almost carbon copies of each other or very, very similar. So for the sake of the list and the sake of simplicity, I'm going to be compiling some of them into groups or into bundles. Because, for example, there is some character mods that end up having the exact same character mod for every single individual survivor, such as, like, let's say an Among Us mod where everyone's a different Among Us survivor. There's one for Nick where, like, let's say he's yellow, and then there's one for Zoe, like, let's say she's pink. And other than subjectiveness based off of favorite color, they're basically the same skin. You get what I'm getting at here? So, yeah, some things are going to be classified as bundles because they're essentially the exact same thing. And then, lastly, to make sure that we are crystal clear on how we are ranking this, also, I want to let you guys know is that for some of these mods, I have only used them for one time, for like the sake of a video, or I just have yet to use them. So I am going to be ranking only mods that I have used thus far, mods that I personally own. I'm ranking them in my favorite order. Normally I end up taking the community into effect, but I don't know if the community has even used some of the mods that I have. So I'm going to be going solely just off of my opinion alone this time. And lastly, I'm going to be ranking some of them into bundles and just ranking some of them and just to their own individual things if they stand out enough, but it's not the same for every single individual mod. So I just want to let you guys know that, and that's how we're going to be treating the video here today. If you guys end up enjoying this video, and you guys do want to see more Left 4 Dead ranking videos, please show your guys' support by dropping a like, comment, and subscribe and all that beautiful stuff. But anyways, guys, let's rank all the mods in Left 4 Dead 2. Alrighty guys, so coming in at our very first spot here, this is going to end up being the finger gun for the Magnum. Now, the finger gun mod I have used before, and you guys have seen it before previously in a video. It is a mod that makes it so that way your hand is your gun. Your Magnum is literally just you making a gun out of your fingers. Now, you may be wondering how the heck would you find this on the map and pick it up if it's just your hand? Well, it's kind of funny. You literally just pick up a severed hand lying around the map, and then once you pick it up, it's now your actual hand. But in the third person, it's still just a severed hand. It's a very simplistic mod, but it's just funny. It's just one of those mods that's so stupid that's enjoyable. I really like it, and that's why I'm putting it on the list. But trust me, if you guys think that this mod is pretty simplistic, you should see some of the other ones that aren't even on the list to begin with. Alrighty guys, coming in at the next spot here, this is going to end up being the Left 4 Dead 1 M1911 pistol mod. This is a mod that brings back the classic Left 4 Dead 1 pistols because they are the only gun from Left 4 Dead 1 that has not returned into Left 4 Dead 2. Everything else is here, but for some reason those pistols never returned. I do not know why. Maybe for some reason they thought they could only end up having one, but it wouldn't surprise me, though, if they were just deciding, hey, you know what, these are pretty simplistic, nobody really asked for these, let's just exclude them. But to be perfectly honest, guys, I would really like to see the Left 4 Dead 1 pistols come back. They're the only gun that's never returned, and I like them over the Left 4 Dead 2 pistol, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, my favorite's the Magnum, and the Magnum would be superior in terms of pistols for everything else. But to be able to have the option, at least, would still be fun. I have requested that these come back if Left 4 Dead ever did get another update again. And I really would like to see these return. But in the meantime, we at least got the mod, and that's pretty nice. Alrighty guys, so coming in at the next spot here, or in this case the next 3 spots, back to back to back, this is going to be Halo guns, Apex Legends guns, and then Call of Duty guns, because these are games that I enjoy using their guns in, and to be able to use them in Left 4 Dead is really, really fun. My favorite one is the Cod Guns, because I still do play Call of Duty quite a fair amount, even though I'm not particularly interested in some of the newer ones, such as Cold War. But it's funny, because some of these guns that are in Left 4 Dead are some of the guns from the unpopular Call of Duties, most notably Ghosts. I don't know why, but a lot of Left 4 Dead mods are themed after Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't know why. It's not my favorite COD game. I mean, Ghost never really was a truly bad COD game, but it wasn't my favorite, so it's kind of funny how that one of my least favorite games is a very plentiful and one of my most favorite games. But yeah, I just thought I would just point that out. As for the Apex Legends, and then also the Halo guns, those are some of my favorites too, but I haven't used them in a while. There is a assault rifle mod for the M16 where you can make it into the normal Halo assault rifle, and there's a mod where you can make the Magnum, I believe, into the Halo pistol. There's some Apex Legends mods where you can end up getting things like such as the Peacekeeper, the RE45 pistol, and then the R301 assault rifle. And I really do enjoy these mods because it's always fun when you can merge your games into the same universe technically. And I just love them, to be honest, so that's why I'm going to be compiling them all back to back to back to back. And there's no really particular gun in those bundles I like. I mean, yes, there is technically, but I mean, they're all the exact same types of guns from the exact same types of games. So really, the only thing I could end up saying is being like, I prefer the Peacekeeper because it's a shotgun, or I prefer the R301 because it's for the AK-47, which the AK-47 I prefer over the shotgun mod because the shotgun mod is for the model shotgun, and I prefer the AK better. You know, stuff like that. It just sounds a little bit silly, so that's why I'm just kind of compiling them all together. Alrighty guys, coming in at the next spots here, this is going to end up being the silly melee weapons and the glowing melee weapons. These are melee weapons where essentially the only thing that changes is just their looks. There's nothing really too different about their functionality. Now, obviously these are cosmetic mods, but some cosmetic mods change the way that the gun model moves and feels. But these melee weapon mods really don't change too much. There's some mods that end up giving you neon glowing swords. There's some mods that end up giving you ridiculous melee weapons where, like, the machete becomes a 3D printed brick. I mean, there's just some mods that end up making some ridiculous models for these particular melee weapons. And I enjoyed the fact that I can just beat the zombies over the head with something pretty crazy. My favorite being is the Genji Sword Mod, where you can essentially get Genji's ultimate, because when you pull out the sword every single frickin' time, and you guys have seen this before also in a video, it's just Genji going, what, I don't speak Japanese, but he's just, you know, shouting his ultimate over and over and over again, and the animation of the dragon comes out every single time you use the scroll wheel and flick the sword out. It is just super detailed, and I really do like it a lot. And that's why I'm ranking these just all kind of in their own bundles, because even though I do like melee weapon mods, none of them particular stand out to make their own particular spot, but they do all end up getting respect in my eyes. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to be hitting you guys with some other mods that's kind of just back to back to back to back, because they're all super simplistic, and other than just saying that they look cool, there's nothing really else to go off of, but I do use these mods on a quite a regular basis if I can. This is going to end up being the Cheeseburger Pain Pills, because the Cheeseburger Pain Pills are a funny joke hinting at Coach. The Chakra trees, which just makes every single piece of the trees in the shrubbery pink. They're kind of themed after the cherry blossom trees, if you will, from Japan. There's going to be the Thick Booty and the Keemstar Gnomes for Gnome Chomsky, which I think is kind of funny because of reasons. There is going to end up being the Roblox and the Fall Guys mods, which I really like because this makes the Infected and the Special Infected themed after Roblox and the Fall Guys characters. This is being the Fall Guys being the Common Infected, and then the Roblox mods being for the Charger and the Tank, where they're extremely buff Roblox characters for some reason, and they end up attacking you towards the Fall Guys and Roblox themes music accordingly, depending on which ones you pick. I enjoy these games. There's just funny, goofy games, especially Fall Guys, and that's why I'm putting these on the list back to back to back to back, basically. Alrighty guys, now coming in at the next spot, this is going to end up being Back 4 Blood mods. Unfortunately, Back 4 Blood is very, very hard to end up getting mods to come over here so far for Left 4 Dead, because Warner Bros. Is being extremely strict on whether or not players will be able to end up getting any access to the game code or the models or whatever have you for the purpose of mods. The Left 4 Dead community really enjoys making mods, and we would love to end up making Back 4 Blood mods. There is some that already exist, but however, though, they're very, very minute and far and few in between. There's nothing like, let's say, bringing over the Back 4 Blood character models for the Left 4 Dead 2 crew, or bringing over the Back 4 Blood guns in their entirety. Unfortunately, there's a limited amount of them. I have made a video on Back 4 Blood mods before, also in the past, and they're just simplistic so far, like the player icons, or sometimes you can end up getting gun models where you can end up making the guns look like Back 4 Blood guns. That's the most significant mod. You can also end up getting certain sound effects. You can end up getting lobby and lobby-themed music and icons, which is pretty cool, but that's really as far as it goes, and it can't really get that nitty-gritty into detail. So unfortunately, it ends up being kind of just down a peg because they're kind of just bare. But I really hope that eventually, as the game ends up coming out, and maybe we can end up getting some more stuff leaked, that we can end up being able to use these for the purpose of mods. Alrighty guys, so for the next spot here, this is going to end up being the Left 4 Dead 1 gun animations mods. These are mods that end up making it so that way the original pump shotgun, the mini Uzi, the M16, the original model shotgun, the hunting rifle, and also the Left 4 Dead 1 pistols, and the Spaz 12 from Left 4 Dead 2, funnily enough, all have Left 4 Dead 1 themed gun animations, where the character is going to be holding them in such a way that it looks like it's the Left 4 Dead 1 models. Now, the Left 4 Dead 1 guns did come back in the Left 4 Dead 2, but as we know, the characters hold them differently and use them differently. But these mods make it so that way all the guns that are from Left 4 Dead 1, and even some from Left 4 Dead 2, hold in a certain way that they look like the Left 4 Dead 1 variants. And these are cool because it's just a little attention to detail where it's just like, wow, there was just so much attention to detail there, it feels even more immersive than it already once did before. I like that, and I get a big kick out of it. And I use these on quite a regular basis as long as the mods don't contradict, because some mods can't end up working together. But if I can use them, I will use them. Alrighty guys, now this mod in particular, even though it's a simple mod for a gun, I really do enjoy it, and I gotta just put it in its own individual spot just because of how stupid it is. But yes, guys, this is going to end up being the Coach Cheeseburger gun Magnum. This thing is super funny. Now, unfortunately, you need an additional mod to, I would say, get the full package. The mod for the gun model itself is extremely funny. I mean, Coach just sitting on a cheeseburger, shooting guns out of his booty. That is extremely funny. But there's an additional mod you can install that ends up, funnily enough, coinciding with this extremely well, where it makes the Magnum end up having Coach voice lines while the gun is shooting. So when you combine these together, it makes the gun mod extremely fun to use because you just have Coach on a cheeseburger shooting gun bolts out of his butt, and he's just going, shoot, 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 shoot. I mean, you guys have seen it before if you've watched the previous videos, but oh my god, it's funny. And they have to coexist. The mods individually by themselves just don't stand out enough, but together they're a masterpiece. Alrighty guys, so coming in at our next spot here, this is going to be CSGO and anime-style guns, as I like to call them. These are going to be the gun mods that are for things such as my AK-47 or my M16 that you may or may not have seen throughout the video, where the guns just look so well done that you could see them in like a supply drop, or you can end up seeing in some sort of loot pull of any given FPS game nowadays, where they're just encrusted in diamonds or gold, or they've got certain model differences where the guns handle differently. They end up having these great attentions to detail, and you're like, damn, this looks like a fact new CSGO gun, or this looks like a brand new supply drop anime gun from Call of Duty. These look extremely well done, and these are some of my favorite mods in the game, because they do things super, super detailed, up until like the things like such as the gun sound, or the gun animations. And the attention to detail is so pristine that I love using them on a regular basis, because there's just nothing other than this that I would like to use. Alright guys, now this in particular I need to clarify something. So, for this particular list, I am not going to be counting, like, custom campaigns. That was a separate list, and it was deserving of its own category, because those things are super, super detailed, and those things have their own individual, what I would say would be mods, but it's just, you know, specific things oriented around that map. Certain maps have a certain themed types of infected, they've got certain themed types of gun skins, they got their own bonuses sometimes, and that's why to classify them within this would be kind of hard to do, just because every single one of the like top 1, 2, and 3, and like even sometimes probably all the way up into the top 10s or 20s would just be custom maps over and over and over again. So we're excluding them with the exception of these. these are going to end up being what I would call sandbox and testing maps. These particular maps are maps that would end up giving you things such as achievements. These are maps that would end up giving you things that would allow you to explore your mods that you're actively using, and these also just allow you just to be able to mess around on the game. There is 3 particular maps that I end up really enjoying. These are going to be maps such as just Sandbox. It's just called Sandbox. It lets you just explore and just play with the Left 4 Dead models and Infected. There's going to be the Ultimate Testing Ground mod, which allows you to be able to look at your gun models, your character models in the third person by seeing them as like standing entities. This allows you to be able to look at the nitty-gritty detail of every single thing that you may or may not want to take a mod and look at. And then there's also the achievement mods that allow you to be able to load up maps that are oriented around getting you certain achievements, such as the achievement that allows you to be able to practice for lickety-split for the cutting off the smoker tongue. There's another one that allows you to be able to end up getting the witch achievement where you try to crown her on expert mode. There's so many different types of sandboxes that just allow you to be able to do certain things that you may or may not need to do. Now, albeit though, the achievement ones, you may or may not only end up using them once, but they're still great to have because trying to get the achievement that you may or may not be struggling on by just loading up a custom map is so nice. Now, even though it doesn't feel necessarily as rewarding, it is nice when you have the at least option of being able to go through the easy route. Alrighty guys, so for this next mod, this is going to end up being the Free Roam Mutations mod. This is going to make it so that way there's a mutation in your mutations list called the Free Roam. You just explore the map with this. There's nothing attacking you, and you can just explore the map to your heart's content. You can do whatever you want. Now, I understand that you can do this via console commands, and having it up here on the list you might think is silly or kind of foolish, but I don't think so because there's so many people that just don't know how to navigate the console commands at all. I still don't even know how to access the console commands and remember them all into their nitty-gritty detail. Because you have to be able to remember how to type them in exactly, and then you also have to know how to undo them exactly. Because with Left 4 Dead, every console command you input, you also have to do another console command to undo what you just did. So if you only want to do something temporarily and you don't want to end up keeping it, you need to know how to do the opposite command. And sometimes it's hard to find the command that is the opposite of what you just did. And I don't recommend doing a command you can't undo. So being able to just have this free roam mod that allows you to be able to load up via mutations, because you can disable this very easily and just get rid of it, I recommend going about this route instead, especially if you're not familiar with how to navigate the Left 4 Dead console, because I don't want you guys to break your games. Alrighty guys, now this mod right here is one of my absolute favorites, and I run this every single time I play Left 4 Dead, and this is going to end up being the Team Health Counter mod. This mod is super valuable. Let me explain. This allows you to be able to see every single person's HP on your team. And it allows you to be able to see exactly what they're on. You can see if they're at 100, 30, or 1 HP. And it's super clutch when you need to be able to heal somebody and you don't know how low they are, but you know they are getting low. And it allows them to have the exact same HP counter as you. So you know who to heal, when to heal, and how to heal them. I recommend installing this mod, guys, because this will be valid to you at all times. There is no time that this mod ever needs to be removed, and luckily, you can use this on custom maps, or you can end up using this on online, and it's not even remotely handicapping. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any particular game mode you cannot use this on, because some mods won't allow you to be able to end up using them on certain game modes, which is understandable, but you can almost use this in every single scenario, and it's valuable to you in every single scenario, so why not rock the mod, you know what I mean? Alrighty guys, now for this next set of mods, they're going to be compiled up into a set of groups again, and this is going to be Survivor Skin mods. Now, for Survivor Skin mods, there is so many. Survivor Skin mods are the most plentiful skin mod out there other than for guns. And these skin mods are really, really cool. I truly do enjoy a lot of these ones. Now, the thing is, though, is that because there's so many plentiful ones, and there's some that are also similar, some that I don't use anymore, and some that are kind of hard to run because they can only end up running, let's say, a single player. You can't run them online or anything. It's kind of hard to just rank them. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be ranking them based off of the particular plentifulness. So, such as example, I'm going to be saying that if a character has more mods available to them and more fun mods available than, let's say, another character, that ends up getting them bumped up. So I'm going to be ranking them in this order, from least to best in terms of how I like to end up rocking the character skin mods. It's going to be Ellis, Rochelle, Francis, Lewis, Bill, Coach, Nick, and then Zoe, from worst to best. I rank them that way because for the characters that I use and for the mods that are available for them for their skin mods, you know, certain characters have more than others and certain characters have better skins than others. Like, for example, Zoe's one of my favorite characters, and she has a lot of great skins. Where, unfortunately, with Ellis, because he's one of my favorite characters and he has the least amount of skins that I end up rocking, I just don't rock them as much. Somebody like Nick or Coach or even Rochelle have better mods for their character skins than some of my other favorite characters. It's ridiculous. And so, even though I like the character, we're basing these off of individual mods. So, somebody like Ellis, even though they're one of my favorite characters, I'm putting them lower out of the groups of survivors because there's just not enough skins that I like rocking for him because they're just kind of iffy. They're just skins that are like okay and mediocre at best. So, that's why I'm ranking them the way they are. Now, I am going to give some examples of some character mods that I like to run. This is an example of some of them, but it's not limiting to just these ones in particular. So for Ellis, the only mod that I really have fun rocking at the moment is going to be the Supreme Goku skin. This is literally just Goku from Dragon Ball with a Supreme hoodie on. It's simplistic, but it's the most fun mod that I end up rocking with Ellis in particular. And then for another set of skins, there's also going to end up being things such as the dinosaurs, the Aftermath skins, the Halo mod for him where he becomes Master Chief, and there's also another one in particular for him where it's got this Back for Blood type of merchandise skin, which is some of the stuff that I just like for Ellis. Then coming in for Rochelle, there's going to end up being cocktail dress, there's going to end up being Rochelle as Zoe, so I can be able to end up having Zoe without needing Rochelle all the time. There's also another one that ends up having Rochelle with a paper bag on her face, which I think is just kind of a funny inside joke. Then we move on to the other survivors. For the other survivors with Francis, there is Francis as Trevor from GTA. There is him as a cyberpunk skin, which I think is pretty cool. It ends up looking like Keanu's character, which I like. There's also another one where he's just got a big old beard and mustache. You know, he ends up looking more badass than he already does. Then for Lewis, there is one where Lewis has got a goatee, which ends up more fitting for him if I'm going to be frank. And there's going to be ones where he's a UK-style police officer or cop. Now for Bill, there's ones like Grandpa Bill, there's ones like Bill without a hat on, which even though it's a minor detail, I enjoy rocking them. For Coach, there's things such as the Resident Evil police skin. There's going to end up being a vacation shirt skin for Coach where he's dressed in the stereotypical dad Hawaiian shirt. Nick ends up having a whole bunch of them. Nick and Zoe are probably my two favorite characters to end up getting mods for because they have the most plentiful and best looking ones. Nick ends up having one where he's wearing a black suit, which just looks clean. There's one where he is a mafia boss. And then my favorite one is going to be Irresistible Nick. Now, even though I believe Irresistible Nick is meant for either the female fans or for the gay community, which I don't have a problem with, by the way, just want to make that clear. I don't mind if you happen to be gay or straight. But whether this is for the female fans or for the gay community, this mod in particular, I don't rock it for that purpose. I just rock it just because it looks cool. I like the idea of how they're trying to portray Nick in this outfit that he's got. He's got a cool, badass black leather jacket, and he's got the nice beard that he's got. I respect anybody with a beard. If someone ends up having like a Viking beard, I give you props, because if a man ends up having a beard, it makes him just like much more cooler in my eyes. And yeah, that's where I rank the Nick one. And then lastly, we've got the Zoe mods. Now, trust me, there is plentiful amount of Zoe mods out there, but some of my favorites are, but are not limited to, Zoe with longer hair, Zoe with Ellis's hat, and then my favorite, which you have seen in videos before for sure, is the Zoe all geared up skin, where she's like a secret agent. Alrighty guys, but we're not done yet. That was just a few examples of some of the skins that I end up enjoying rocking in Left 4 Dead 2. But that was for individual specific skins. This is going to end up being my favorite skins, which is going to end up being the skins that are kind of compilations just in their own right. These are going to be things such as skins that end up making the characters into knights, skins that make the characters into dinosaurs, which I know you guys have seen before, and then my favorite ones is the Aftermath skins. The Aftermath skins are skins themed after the idea of what happened to the crews or the Left 4 Dead survivors after the events of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. So in this case, for Left 4 Dead 1's characters, it would be what would happen after the passing, and Left 4 Dead 2's crew after what happened on the parish. And it shows them with new looks, new attitudes, new character traits. Some characters end up having longer or shorter hair. Some characters have a much more meaner look to them, and some have a more friendly look, and some of them definitely end up having much more attention to detail, such as a change of clothing or even additional gear that they're rocking. I really do like these because this makes me think about what would happen if Left 4 Dead 3 ever did come out and they decide to end up remastering the Left 4 Dead 1, 2, and Cruise skins rather than just bringing over the exact same models from what we had in the past. And that's why I like these, and I'm ranking them a lot higher on the list. Alrighty guys, we are down to the last 2 mods. So coming in at number 2, this is going to be the Ion's Vocalizer Mod. This allows you to be able to end up getting access to the voice lines for the characters in Left 4 Dead without needing to end up going into the game files. Now, I understand a lot of you guys end up going to the game files just so you have the abundance of them, you know, just at your disposal whenever you want. But I have not gotten around to doing that, and I'm just always trying to be careful with game files because I don't want to end up corrupting any of my data. I will learn eventually. But in the meantime, I'm putting this up on one of my favorites because until I do learn, this mod is extremely useful because whether you're playing solo or whether you're playing online with others, you can end up getting access to quick and immediate voice lines such as group up, get over here, you know, I'm healing, stuff like that. And it allows you to be able to communicate with your team without ever needing to text or without ever needing to use your microphone. It's just very, very easy to be able to just go like, okay, group up, or okay, I'm going this way. It's kind of like the Overwatch one. I enjoyed using that a lot in Overwatch because there's times I just did not want to talk and I would just say, you know, hey, group up or I'm over here. I like doing the exact same premise in Left 4 Dead, and that's why I put it at number 2, because I also can see a lot of you guys getting use out of this just because some people just like to end up being able to just go, boop, I'm doing this, and just nothing else. Alrighty guys, so here we are, the very last set of mods. Now, once again, this is going to be compiled into a group again, but however though, they're all very, very fun to use, and they're no different from each other at all, trust me. This is going to end up being the golden mods. These are mods that make everything into gold. This is going to be anywhere from your guns, to your Molotovs, to even the propane, oxygen, and gasoline tanks. Everything is just encrusted in 4K gold, and I love that. This makes it so that way the guns feel much more clean and crisp. And it makes me excited for 2 things. Number 1, this makes me excited at the idea of Back 4 Blood, because I know that in Back 4 Blood we are going to be able to get the option of getting golden guns, which is going to be cool. And this reminds me of the old games I used to play where I used to grind camos, such as Call of Duty, where I could get golden guns for playing with them for a certain amount of time. So if I want my favorite gun to be encrusted into gold, and if I want to be able to end up using it, I can. And that's just fun to me. And being able to end up having the gun feel more rewarding, because it makes it like, you know, okay, I can play imagination here, where it's like, I use this gun a lot, so therefore I earn gold camo. Oh, now look at that, I got gold camo. It's simplistic in the sense that, yeah, there's nothing really too much to the mod. You guys might be thinking that number 1 was going to be something more out there. But I really do like this, and I rock this every single time. Alrighty guys, so that is going to be it here for today's video. I hope you guys ended up enjoying, and if you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, and subscribe. If there's any particular mod that you saw throughout this video that you thought was extremely cool, feel free to let me know. I would love to end up seeing what you guys thought of this list. Would you have ranked them differently? Was there any particular mod that stood out to you and made you want to go and download it? Let me know, because I will provide links for every single one of the mods that I have listed, and probably even some bonus ones via the description. So that way, if there's any particular mod that you want to get, you can download them accordingly. And then guys, also before we do take off, if you guys want to follow me on any of my other social medias, I highly recommend doing so. They are also linked down below in the description. I've got Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, Discord, all that beautiful stuff. I recommend following me at least one of those, so that way you can keep up to date with me outside of YouTube. And then lastly, guys, is that if you guys could also please use code BlackNinja797 in all caps in the Fortnite and Epic Games item shops, that'd be very much appreciated, because Epic is now my very first sponsor, and they are sponsoring this video. But yeah, guys, I hope you ended up enjoying another YouTube video for the most unique YouTuber you guys are ever going to see. Thank you for watching, guys, and peace out.